Hello, welcome to the Florida Men Gaming. I am Furion, and today we will be playing Magic the Gathering Arena. This year we are looking to work our way from Bronze to Mythic and have some fun along the way. For this video we will be playing an Izzet deck. Title of the deck, Is It Nice? No. This Is It Nice deck is a mill deck designed around turbo milling our enemy with spells while keeping ourselves defensively postured with several creatures designed to throw off the initial scent. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you to like and subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 and would love for you to join us on the journey. To accomplish our goals with our Izzet Mill deck, we will be playing Tasha's Hideous Laughter, 4 copies, and Maddening Cacophony as well. Maddening Cacophony is a fun card. Each opponent mills 8 cards, but if you kick it, there goes half the library. So for 1 and a blue, they lose 8. For 4 and 2 blue, they lose half. We'll also be running 4 copies of Galvanic Iteration, which, for those who know, which most of you will, is designed to copy the next cast spell. So for 5 mana, we can double up on Tasha's Hideous Laughter, or if they're close, double up for 4 mana with a unkicked Maddening Cacophony. The whole goal of this deck is to sneak our way across the finish line with a sudden burst of sucks to be you. So we shall see how it goes. Alright, we have our first opponent on deck on the road to Mythic. Opening hand, a little bit slow, but we'll keep it. See how this plays out. We're going to start off by landing an Ascendant Spirit. It is a 1/1 for 1 with ramp abilities based on snow mana. Again, just a card in there designed to keep them guessing as to what our game plan actually is. We're going to follow it up with a Smoldering Egg and get in for 1. Smoldering Egg will hopefully make its transition into the Ashmouth Dragon as we start to cast our mill spells and sneak them in on the other side of this fight. When it transforms, it becomes a 4/4, and for every instant or sorcery you cast, it will deal 2 damage to any target of your choice. So, going to transcend our spirit, make it a 2/3 warrior, and attack in. Assuming, of course, that happens. We get bolted. You may be asking yourself, does this deck suck? It does. Why am I playing it in Alchemy? Because lots of people hate Alchemy, and I hate certain mechanics in Alchemy, so I want to punish the people who are just abusing the annoying mechanics. Looks like we might be facing off against a Dragon's deck here, which will be intriguing. Let's get a peek at what they're running, and let them know a little earlier than maybe usual that we have something that's kind of annoying. See a Townraiser Tyrant, Temple of the Dragon Queen, and most of their land. Now just waiting on them to determine if they want to keep playing. And there's the Whelp. Kind of an annoying card, reduces the cost of the dragon on each end step. Well, let's dump another 16 out of their hands and make them very much regret. Looks like we just got rid of 2 more Townraiser Tyrants, an Inferno of the Star Mounts, a Maniform Hellkite, Goldspan. So we have severely thinned out some of their dragon inventory. Not to say that they don't have more in their hand, but we will find out very shortly. They're down to 24 cards in hand within range of Tasha's Hideous Laughter, but that will be a difficult ask based on how much dragon cards typically cost. They do have the Star Mount in hand, and they drew down more cards, which may not be great for them. Nadar, Selfless Paladin, so they've got a little bit of dungeon delving built into their deck, and I guess technically because it's a dragon, they get to have some fun with that. Not that they like me much now, but they're not going to like me much in a minute. Knocked out some more expensive cards. Pretty sure we're about to get an Inferno of the Star Mounts to hit the battlefield here, which will be very painful. Unless, of course, I tap it down, which I intend to do. Opponent taking an awfully long time to think about what they're trying to do here. Looks like they finally got their finger on the trigger. Let's see if they can pull it off. Manually tapping mana because why not? And they're going to pour mana in, so we will give him a little tap, let him know we love him, but he's not allowed to play. Now we just have to pray that we hit a card that can actually work in our hand. We will, of course, decline this ability. We can use that. Looks like they're contemplating using a dragon or an angel fire ignition. We'll go ahead and preemptively lock down their two biggest threats. See if this secures it. Yep, there it goes. Gets to waste all of its extra counters, and we'll have a little bit of fun just taking a 3/3 shot. And now we just have to hope for one nice little spell. Otherwise, this game could be over quicker than it started. And that's the spell we were looking for. I should have cast my Initial Instinct 3 mana cost. That will have cost me the game here. But, you know what? When you're having fun. Apparently I've psyched out the opponent in some capacity. With any luck, they do something dumb like draw a dragon card. Either that or they just disconnected out of frustration. It's hard to say. If they did, that's a big mistake because they win. One card left because I misplayed my iteration, so that's on me. I guess that's karma coming back for me for playing a jerk deck. It is possible that they did disconnect themselves in frustration, which I guess it just shows a little bit of short-sightedness on their part. Works out in our favor potentially here. Not how I want to take wins, but I'm not going to not take these wins on the road to Mythic. Every win counts. I guess patience is for the virtuous and math is for blockers. They passed the turn, so that's an interesting turn of events. We'll see if it, again, times all the way out. Looks like it's going to time out. Well, you hate to see it, folks. Again, I'm not going to turn down free wins, but you know what? At this point, we'll take them. That's what the Fearsome Whelp gets for existing. Love the card, but it does need to be, in my mind, modified so that it does it maybe on its first turn entering the battlefield, maybe not every turn. Alright, and we're back. Game 2. No defensive creatures to start us off, so I think we're going to mulligan this hand with the hopes of grabbing a couple of 1-drops, which we have succeeded in doing. With no spells, I'm going to drop the iteration and make a game plan around leveling the wizard class. Just what we want. Play the Delver, again, limit the amount of time they have to recognize that we're playing a mill strategy, keep the Ruin Crab in hand until next turn before we drop the land. There's the Ranger class. You know what? Let's show them what they're dealing with. Playing against what looks to be mono green will be a challenge. Need to very quickly turn this game in our favor. Leveling the Ranger class, good sign for us. Right now we're winning that race. If I draw a Fading Hope, all of their efforts go to naught. We're going to go ahead and hit them with the Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Hopefully they don't have a bunch of high cost spells. That is a heap. They just lost 17 cards to that. See if they lost anything fun. A couple of inscriptions, Old Growth Troll, 2 more of their Werewolf pack leaders, a few Briarbridge trackers. That is a good dump for us. They already have one werewolf pack leader in the graveyard, alongside of several blizzard brawls, a snakeskin veil. This is not going their way. Again, we'll let that through. We can always chump block later on if we become worried about health. Right now, just trying to keep the pressure on, encourage misplays, and see how that does for us. Another ranger class hits the board. Let's see what happens when we go to level 2. Alright, we get a You See a Guard approach, so we will move into the next turn, tapping down their biggest threat. Unless we get another big dumping spell, I have a strong feeling that we are in a little bit of trouble here. We're going to tap the werewolf pack leader, limit their card draw, which, as a mill strategy, that is probably a mistake. I should have let that one through. But we can't all be perfect. Let's see what comes down on 5. Incoming Renin 7. Gonna get the minus. We will hold back our creatures this turn. Drawing that land definitely did not help us. And if we're being honest, folks, that's all she wrote. We will let them have their victory here. Let them attack in, feel the righteous fury that they have towards my deck type come to fruition. Yes, I deserve to be punished. Come on in. The defenses are fine. Oh, going all in, attacking even with their land. We won't even bother blocking, we're just going to let them have this one. Well earned. Send them a good game, but they're probably not wanting to send that back. Oh, dropped one. Let's see what happens in the next one. Alright, and we're back with a pretty decent starting hand. No red mana for the Smoldering Egg, but we're going to go ahead and keep, just because with the Ruin Crab we can start the mill strategy off early. With the Delver, start taking a peek at the top of our hand and potentially putting on some pressure. We're actually going to, with the blue-white on the other side, drop the crab first. That way we dodge a potential Jawari disruption. Should have played the Delver on 1, would have had it bumped up, but we live, we learn. Playing a tapped land. Alright, let's show our hand, let them see what's coming. And we will hold it until we get our next land drop on the field. Or until they blow a mana. Alright, opponent revitalizes, draws another card. They are again holding up mana, looking to probably catch out that Tasha's Hideous Laughter. We're going to let them just stare at it for a little while though. Slow play the mill, drop another creature threat on the board, see how they react to it. Attack in for 3. They're going to consider. Still have 3 open mana, so I'm not about to walk the Tashas into a counterspell. Another consider, 2 open mana now. Desperately trying to dig for a solution, it appears. Third consider before end step, so we will be hitting them with the Tashas on the next end step. Tasha's in play. Hit a Hullbreaker Horror. That may not have been as many cards as I would have liked to have dumped, but the Hullbreaker is a big steal. There's the Doomscar. Smoldering Egg on the field, with a Fading Hope to protect it. Another Ascendant Spirit available. Let's see what they're doing with that. Memory Deluge. Oh, they are now trying to draw more of their deck. We will pour some mana into the Spirit, get it above their giant defenders before the next turn, and we will block their Fading Hope Scry for our own Fading Hope, and replay the Spirit. Lier, Disciple of the Drowned. Well, that is great for them. Fateful Absence. Someone's not spiteful. Let's go ahead and take a draw. Gonna put a stop on their step, bounce their Lier, make them replay it and burn some of that mana, and hold up mana so that we can then put hexproof on our Spirit when they go after it with a spell. Go ahead, cast another spell to beat that with the instant on the stack. Burn through more of your mana, allow Lier to be bounced off unchallenged. There we go. Fading Hope back to my hand. Mission accomplished. So unless they have a land in hand, they will be having to wait another turn before getting Lier back down, giving us a chance to sneak through another potential spell. There's the land. And this is gonna hurt. Still gonna hurt. Got yet another Hullbreaker out of their hand. Not out of their hand, I apologize, out of their deck. That is very helpful. Let's see what kind of counterspells they are dealing with. They don't appear to have one. There's the Hullbreaker. And this game is effectively over. This won't stick. They will, of course, bounce it once again, but it is what it is in this instance. This again being one of the more annoying control style decks in the format, what this deck was built to just harass. And with that, this game is now over. Well, on to the next one. Alright, and we're back. So far, this deck has not been very friendly to us over the course of these matches. We will keep this opening hand and show our hand right from the get-go. First color, red, could potentially be facing off against a Dragon's deck. We will actually hold on to the Ruin Crab for a turn, and if they do drop a Fearsome Whelp, immediately bounce it back to hand so that they don't get the benefit of the 1 mana reduction. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Let them keep that a turn. Hold up the Fading Hope to keep the Ruin Crab alive. Keep the Usia Guard approach on top so that we have the Hexproof to go along next fight. Looks like a Boros Burn deck. Let the 2 damage through. Dealing damage direct to face with Sacred Fire, gaining 2 life on their part. Down goes Rahilda. Drop a Smoldering Egg, a little bit of a thicker wall to block with. They are determined to go face with their burn spells. Pass to the defensive and wait for them to launch a spell. Now sitting on 5 lands, 1 away from a fully kicked Maddening Cacophony. And this one is gonna hurt. Fired off directly at face. Burn through half their deck and keep the dragon in reserve. now have to attack through a 4/4, which they will probably attempt to burn down. Yep, there it is. And where's the follow-up? There it is. So down goes Frazier. 1 mana open, no spells available. We will take the 3 damage. And now we will build our chump blockers. Two more magic missiles out of their hand. 9 cards left in their deck. No attacks. Now we are prepared to sacrifice. And it looks like they're prepared to go around us. Looks like the burn deck has beat us to the finish. And there it is. One card away from victory. Alright, well, there we have it. So this deck has gone, I believe, 1 and 4, if I am not mistaken. We will take a look at the stats powered by Untapped GG in just a moment. Alright, we are back. So let's take a look at the stats, how the deck performed. We went 1 and 3. Not the ideal turnout for our matches today, but a little bit of fun. If you'll enjoy a mill strategy, this deck allows you to get some things done. Had some better luck in testing this deck prior to coming into the ranked matches to see how it performed there. It does play a little slow, so may revamp some aspects of it, give ourselves some more defense from the start, see how that goes. And that's where we stand. It has been a fun one. If anyone wants to play a deck like this, I will have the deck list pasted in the description below the video. And hope you all have a wonderful new year. Today being, of course, January 1st, 2022. Hope you have a good one. We look forward to seeing you in the future.